Hello and welcome to Ruckosaurus Rex, the channel where we discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. How have you guys been? I hope you've been doing well. It's been a minute, but we're back. And we're back with a bang, as you can see on your screen right there. You see what it is. And let me tell you, I've got my camera very far back in order to capture this entire packaging. And what I am talking about here is Samuel, the Alamosaurus, number 79 by PNSO. And as you can see, the box is massive. Trust and believe, the box is massive. It's one of the few times, if I believe possibly the only time, that a PNSO box, which are generally rectangular, this time the long sides are the vertical sides as opposed to horizontal, and that's to accommodate the photography in this particular this specimen here, the box art. And you see the Alamosaurus right there. It is pretty impressive, I must say. You see the PNSO, you see the 79 down below. I believe it's. I believe that I have the Chinese version of it. I'll let you know in a second as I turn this bad boy around. And so yes. On the flip side, as you can see, it is in English, PNSO, living animal models. Of course, this is not a living animal, but we get it. That accompany your growth. And you see right there, it reads Samuel the Alamosaurus. Top of the packaging, you see it has the head of the Alamosaurus. And now, after a brief respite to put my camera and lights back to where they belong, we resume. Sam comes with two informational booklets this go round. One in the native tongue, the Chinese tongue, I should say, and then one in English. And as always, you know how these booklets go, informational, and it has illustrations and pics. This is pretty nice right here. You gotta love that. And yeah, of the Alamosaurus. So we've got that, and then of course we get the accompanying poster. And this go around, we actually get artwork of one of the pics that we saw real quick in that booklet. And I have to say, I prefer when I get the genuine artwork over the toy photography. This looks great right here, Alamosaurus. I tell you, massive. Looking at that landscape and getting ideas. You know how I am when it comes to dioramas. And here's our guy, Lil Sammy. Lil Sammy. The Titanosaur, known as Alamosaurus. Right there, so long with that neck, so tall that when he's facing forward on the rotating base, his head gets lost in the clouds. And you see what we got going on here. Very impressive model. Of course, one of the caveats to this particular model, it's been going around, and it is a matter of concern for a lot of collectors, myself included, can't front, is that this obviously is not 1/35 scale. It is, to be quite frank, about a $1.80 scale. And you're like, well, $1.80? Yeah, because Alamosaurus is reported to have been about 98 feet long, and that's on the small end. They've got fragmentary fossils of this species. They've got the fragmentary fossils are really of the adults. They've got a tibia, I believe a tibia, that's of similar size to that of maybe Argentinosaurus or Patagotitan or someone like that, some species like that. the ones that are up there and that we know for a fact exceeded 100 feet. So it is of similar size. This species, Alamosaurus, is North American. It's as far as I know, it's the only North American titanosaur that we know of, and it is believed that it's a migrant, that it came from South America, because just about every titanosaur that we know of, most of them anyway, have come from South America, Argentina, what have you. And this is the lone North American titanosaur, also late Cretaceous. Also, it lived in the same environment as the Tyrannosaurus Rex. That, it's amazing. When I found out about that about a year or so ago, I didn't even know. I won't even lie to you guys. I didn't even know. I'd always wondered for years, especially for the longest time up until maybe the last couple decades, Tyrannosaurus Rex was always regarded as the largest terrestrial meat-eating dinosaur. And then we ended up getting the Carcharodontosaurs and, of course, the Spinosaurus itself. But it was still up there. And, in fact, it had lost its place big time, even if you exclude the Spinosaurus out of it, because it was, let's just say, as of the way how we depict it now, a different kind of theropod. But if you go by the standard theropod design, big heads, short forelimbs, long legs, long tail, it had dropped, meaning the Tyrannosaurus Rex, it had dropped to, I want to say, third on the depth chart behind Carcharodontosaurus and Giganotosaurus. But with the discovery of Scotty, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and with also combined with them reevaluating the sizes of the likes of the Giganotosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus, it used to be thought that the Giganotosaurus grew to about 46 feet, and the T-Rex at the most 42. But with Scotty, the largest known Tyrannosaurus, we're now tipping that scale to about nearly 43 feet long, and definitely has got the weight on it. Whereas the Carcharodontosaurus, the biggest of those, they now got them more down to earth at about 43 feet as well. So they may very well still be larger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but not by much, and chances are they are of similar size, because nature has a way of policing itself, if you will. What I mean by that is, nature would only has determined a predator can only be effective at predation up to and including a certain size. Unless it becomes specially adapted, like Spinosaurus, for aquatic hunting and stuff like that. But when you talk about as I like to call it, the standard theropod design, of which I had described a little bit earlier, they top out probably at about 46 feet, 45, 46 feet at the most, before they become ineffective at what they do, which is hunt. So, I was pretty happy when Scotty was described and given its measurements, and simultaneously the Carcharodontosaurs were reduced down, because I'm old school, and even though I take things, I'm into facts and things of that nature, it was still a hard pill to swallow that the T-Rex wasn't the big boy anymore. But now he is, or one of, I'll say that, and probably weight-wise is still the big boy. So I'll take that like it is. I still think that the way how it's designed, what it's specially equipped to do, if any of the big three were to get in a fight, I think all three have a chance against one another. I just think that this is what I think, because of the nature of the Tyrannosaurus Rex's bite his head and his bite with his teeth versus any carcharodontosaur. I think that a T-Rex would win the straight up battle, but considering that the other two large species are a little bit quicker than the Tyrannosaur and can probably get in more bites, and their teeth were meant more so for slicing and dicing, whereas Tyrannosaurus Rex was meant for crushing. I think it would technically be a double TKO. I think a Jig would die immediately, and a T-Rex would walk off, limp off, and attempt to lick its wounds and die from blood loss from all the bites that it may incur, unless the Tyrannosaurus managed a good quick bite and the fight would be over. But that's pure speculation. They never met. By the time T-Rex came, millions upon tens of millions of years had already went by the time the last Giganotosaurus passed away. So anyway, that's just me going on, and I've gone on a long time. I'm already 7 minutes into this particular segment, probably close to 10 minutes in the review already. So forgive me, guys, for already taking that long. Let's get into the meat of this review, shall we? The first order of business is to attempt to get a measurement of this critter. The box, or rather not necessarily the box, but all of the specifications of the model itself have got it horizontally from snout to tail, or to basically where the tail kind of sort of ends. It states that it's about 16 inches this way, but that isn't. You're actually robbing this model of some inches. So, and it's difficult to really go from the snout going down along the back to the tip of the tail, but I'll attempt to do so. And just doing that alone, this model has gained another 2 inches. So just doing it like this, I'm at 18. But if you would try to go with the curvature of the neck, and then the tail itself also curves, we're talking about it's probably 19 at least inches long. And I don't normally take the height measurement, but I'll do so simply because that is a selling point of this particular model. And we're coming in right there at the top of the head. We're right there at 11 inches tall. So this is a big boy. I'm not even going to play the calculation game. I already told you. I did the calculations off camera already a long time ago when this was announced. And I could only go by what the specs were, and it said 16 by 11. And yeah, it comes out to about 1/80th scale. So that's far and away smaller than 1/35 scale. And unfortunately, you have some people that are saying that PNSO had to do it that way. Cost-wise, I agree, because PNSO is already expensive as is. If they had actually done this critter in 1/35 scale, this beast costs $75 as is. What you see right here is $75, $74.99 to be precise. If they did this in 1/35 scale, we're talking, and I'm just going to throw it out there. You guys we can play the guess game on this in the comments below. But this guy would have been probably $150, $150 easy. And we'll get an idea how much this would have been if PNSO actually did make it 1/35 scale, because sometime next year, Howlin' Good is going to come up with their version of Alamosaurus, and it will be true 1/35 scale. So we'll know then. Later in this review, I'm going to give you guys an idea of how large that particular model would be. Howlin' Good, once again, will give us an idea how much it would cost. They're less expensive than PNSO. So I would say whatever amount they come up with, you can just add at least $30 to it, considering. So as I said, Howlin' Good is going to come up with their own Alamosaurus, and I believe 3 other Titanosaurs. So we've been we've been clamoring for sauropods. Howling Good's about to do us correctly. They already did us correctly with a couple of sauropods already at 1/35th scale. They played it safe and gave us the smaller species at that. And we also had gotten, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we got what am I saying? I already know. And then they really threw caution to the wind and gave us an Apatosaurus. So there you have it. And that was huge. So, and that's supposed to represent a 70-foot long animal. So, it's going to be crazy when we get that Alamosaurus. As I had stated before, it lived alongside the Tyrannosaurus Rex, so that lets you know it was late Cretaceous. As far as we know, it existed around 70 million years ago, and all the way to the end of the Mesozoic. The extinction of the dinosaurs lived right up to the end right there. So it was definitely one of the last of the dinosaurs, which also surprised me too. I had really thought for the longest time before titanosaurs were discovered that they basically, sauropods just dominated the Jurassic, which they did, but they surprised and shocked and amazed me when I came to find out that they went right into the Cretaceous and got even bigger. It's just incredible. Who knows how large they would have gotten if the extinction level event that occurred 65 million years ago hadn't. Wow. Very, very, very interesting to think about. Anyway, let's take a closer look at our guy here and see what's up with our guy Sammy. All right, so we have another first for me. In order for me to be able to start the overview from the head and go down, I actually have our Alamosaurus here below table level, and we'll have to go up there. So more firsts. So here we go. We see the head right there, and the head is, of course, basically reconstructed from the very few skulls, I should say, of sauropods, of titanosaurs in particular, that we do have. As you guys may or may not know, as large as sauropods were, it was very problematic getting skulls from fossil records because their heads were so small. As large as they were, their heads were small. And they really did not survive the fossilization process because they were so small. And but the ones that we do have, we extrapolate from that, and we assume that there were similarities in their skull and facial appearance. So this is what we have here. So you see what we got going on. I'm going to try to I'll get out of frame every now and again trying to maneuver this guy. But it is what it is. So this is what it looks like on the other side. And try to get it's difficult because it wants to go out of focus. But try to get you a semi-forward look so you can at least see the teeth. Maybe if I put my hand behind it, you can see it better. And we're struggle videoing right now, guys. You got to bear with. This is how it goes down when you're dealing with a larger. So as large as this is, imagine if this was 1/35th scale. Anyway, that's what it looks like there. This is PNSO, so you know that the colors are going to be kind of, not very vibrant. Put it that way. I'm not angry at that because once again, I don't think large animals really show vibrancy with their coloration all that often, especially when you're talking about creatures that are supposed to be 98 or longer feet, So it's nice there. Our Alamosaurus has got a base of like a cream color. There's a darker wash, and of course we've got these like brownish gray, grayish brown stripes that start, right there along the spinal column and bleed over to either side of the neck. And you see that they're not a consistent type of striping, which is great. Gotta love that. When we go down the neck, you see it's very long and very characteristic of titanosaurs. Long, crazy long necks, and they were also muscular, very thick. We've had some other sauropods that have had very long necks, like from the Diplodocus clade, very long, but they weren't thick and muscular like this. So we've got that going on. Let me look at the underside real quick before we get to the top there. We've got nice wrinkles, and that dry wash is showing some nice detail there. We go under the neck, and showing it this way totally reminds me of when I was in the American Museum of Natural History, and I walked underneath both the Apatosaurus and the Patagotitan. This is what it looks like when you're standing underneath those skeletons. This is exactly what it looks like when you look up. That's just crazy. Anyway, back to the review. I've already wasted enough time running my mouth, and I apologize for that, guys. But big animals require big talk. So you see, we've got scoots that are very pronounced on our Alamosaurus there, and armor. They think that that this species, and as well as some other titanosaurian species, were armored in such a way. Let me turn it up this way, and you see that it's got these small plates there. I'm assuming that they must be for display, because when you're this size, what other defense other than your size do you really require? Anyway, we've got the scoots there pretty pronounced, and we're more of that brownish gray type of coloration, very solid right there, and then it bleeds off, gets it gets lighter with the brown, and then even lighter with the cream color. We've got the nice wrinkles. The gray goes all the way down the forelimb, as you can see. And you look there look at that right forelimb. It has the thumb claw. Now, when it comes to to Titanosaurus itself, a lot of them basically lost that thumb claw. We don't know if all of them did, and we don't really know whether or not Alamosaurus did. So PNSO went on and provided the thumb claw for their particular model. Looking at that hoof, though, you see that that's the only claw that it actually has, so that's pretty accurate right there. We've got more of those scoots going down the shoulder, if you will, and then there's the underbelly. It gets lighter, as I had stated. You have the wrinkles underneath, pretty cool. Same thing with that rear leg. It's that brownish gray. And then when you turn it and look at those claws on the feet, pretty accurate. You got the three. It's got 4 toes, technically 5 toes, excuse me. 3 of the toes have claws, and they're painted like a caramel type of brown. The last 2 digits had no claws on them at all. You have more of those scoots there on the hip area, and then you see, look at that right there. That is something else to see right there. And then the solid that solid color, it goes striped again, and then we taper down the tail. It goes back to that cream color with the brownish gray striping, and you still have the armored plating there. And then it suddenly becomes just it's all in pairs, and then we suddenly go to one as it continues down until it tapers all the way out of the tail. And turning it around, it's the same thing on that other side. I'm really loving those spikes there. That is something else. That is something else. And then you have that right hind limb pushing off, and then you've got the the skin, the stretching skin and the folds, and that right forelimb standing pat right there, bearing the weight. And then now I've got to go back down again. We're going below table level to go back up the neck. Very, very impressive. We've got the eye. I didn't mention the color of the eye. The eye is like an orange and with a black pupil there. Pretty nice. And then you could see, I believe, you could see the nostril. Nostril is definitely sculpted in. So that's very nice. That is our guy, Samuel the Alamosaurus. To give you guys an idea of how undersized our Alamosaurus is at 1/80th scale, I'm going to line him up with another PNSO model that's also undersized at 1/45 scale. And here we have the Momentosaurus. You can see right there that, they are, they both look great, but they're both undersized. And the Alamosaurus is severely undersized because it definitely was longer than Momentosaurus. Momentosaurus being, you could see that. Remember when I was mentioning about how you had some sauropods that had very long necks, but they were thin. They weren't all large and muscular and all that. Momentosaurus is definitely one of those species, and it was a lot shorter than the Alamosaurus. And now I've got the critter that existed alongside the Alamosaurus, and we know it fed on, at the very least, the corpses of deceased Alamos. We've got Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is Wilson 2.0. And definitely you could see that the Alamosaurus is undersized because look at the size of the T-Rex next to it. When I finally get that Howling Good version, this will serve as a juvenile Alamosaurus for sure. And if you want to see how large a Tyrannosaurus Rex looked besides a full-grown Alamosaurus, then stand by. Here we go, right here. This is the comparison that I've been wanting to do the entire review. We have our PNSO Alamosaurus, Sammy, next to the Eroterra Patagotitan. This is 1/35 scale. This represents a 110-foot long animal. Now, so that tells you that Alamosaurus on the small end full grown was 98 feet. So this should be much larger. It should be close to the same size as our Patagotitan there. And you see that it isn't. So like I said, it's going to be my juvenile version when I get the Howling Good version. And just so you have an idea of how large or how small a Tyrannosaurus Rex would have been alongside Alamosaurus, here's old Willie again. Now that is what a T-Rex would have had to contend with, something that large or close to it. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So now you know. This gives you an idea how large Alamosaurus would have been or close to it next to a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And even though they're out of scale with one another, here is our 1/35th scale Ian Malcolm alongside the 1/80th scale Alamosaurus. Still very impressive, still very large. So this is what a 1/35th scale, this is what a human being, a 1.8 meter human being would look next to a juvenile Alamosaurus. So still highly impressive. So with my final shot for this review of Sammy the Alamosaurus, I decided to incorporate, of course, the backdrop and my newly acquired stand for the GR Toys Dinosaurus, which was my latest review before this one. As I stated in that one, you could get the stand separate, and that I was considering getting it. Right after I dropped the video, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get that stand, and I'll have a short with the Dinosaurus actually on it later. But for now, this is how I'm going to end this review with Samuel the Alamosaurus from PNSO. My final thoughts on it. It's a beautiful figure. Got a sauropod, got a titanosaur. It's undersized, it's 1/80th scale. It is what it is. Like I said, when I get true 1/35th scale Alamosaurus, this is going to be the juvenile. So it'll be mom and kid. So that's going to look very nice, I believe. And but as far as this particular model is concerned, I love the coloration in terms of the striping on the neck and the tail. I'm loving the armor on its back, the spikes and the overpronounced osteoderms and scutes. It is just great. Nice tapering tail, very tall figure or model at 11 inches high. Even for it being undersized in terms of what a titanosaur would be at 1/35th scale, way undersized, but at 180, you know it's way undersized. That is a far cry from 135. But it's still a very, very nice model. I already mentioned how much it's going to cost. It will cost you $74.99, $74.99, and it's very, very nice. As far as I can tell, it's accurate. Once again, we don't really know if it retained the thumb claws or not. So it's speculative, and PNSO decided to go with the thumb claws. I'm not mad at them. They painted nicely. It's a very good figure. Model. Yes, very, very nice. What would be nice also is if you guys would give a thumbs up to the video. If you would share the video. And leave your comments below about this particular model. What do you think about the model itself as is? What do you think? What are your thoughts on the scalation of the model? And, or I should say the size, because you may get scalation misconstrued with thinking I'm talking about the scales on its body. But no, I'm talking about its size. The 1/80th scale. Are you in the team 135, or is this cool enough for you? Let me know down below. And if you want to be notified when I upload another video, hit that bell. And of course, subscribe to the channel. You know I need that. I'd love that. So anyway, that's going to do it for this review, guys. Samuel the Alamosaurus, number 79 by PNSO. Very, very nice model. I am happy with it. And I will, of course, you already heard, I'm going to find some kind of use for it when I get a full-size, true 1/35th scale Alamosaurus, which should be sometime in 2024. So until then, we'll see what's up with other things coming down the pike. I've got a few things coming that have been crazy delayed that I should have gotten already. In fact, Sammy here was one of the last things that I ordered, and you see I'm already reviewing it. There's a few that should have come already. There's one in particular that I'm really anxious to show you guys, and I cannot wait for that to get here. So hopefully that'll be here soon, and I will present that to you. Anyway, until then, or until whatever I come up with, you guys take care. Thanks for rocking with me. Peace.